Okay, in this video, I'm going over the main card of UFC 324. It was a very good way to start off the year. The card overall had a bunch of finishes. It was very exciting. There were some dull fights in between of the prelims and stuff. And the main card wasn't super heavy with finishes, but what it lacked in finishes, it made up for in extremely fun wars and weird moments like Gene Silva standing on top of Arnold Allen and Derek Lewis tripping over his fat and falling over and quitting. So we're gonna go from top to bottom, just the main card though. Starting with Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva, the main card opener. It was a very good fight. Gene Silva wins, and it was a clear win by Gene Silva. He did more when he needed to. Arnold Allen started off very slick, very impressive to me. I knew Arnold Allen was a capable banger of a fighter, but to keep it in, like to keep in there and kind of hang in there with Gene Silva is impressive. And he never got finished, and he took some fucking heat from Gene Silva and never got rocked. He kind of reacted to punches and was kind of like stunned, you could tell, but he never got wobbled. He never got deterred. He still threw a ton all the way throughout the fight. He definitely started to throw a little bit less as the time went on, and I think Gene Silva started to get more comfortable as time goes on. And the more I think about it, and the more I watch Gene Silva, I really do think Gene kind of he's like a Peter Yan in a way where he kind of takes the first round to kind of get going, and you can kind of have success with Gene Silva on the feet in the grappling at the very beginning of a Gene Silva fight. But it's almost like you could see, like Gene Silva got hit with one punch from Arnold Allen, like nodded his head, and then right after that, like the switch flipped, and Gene Silva was on, and he's comfortable, and he's styling, and he's throwing with heat, he's throwing spinning elbows. They're trading spinning elbows and going back and forth. And Arnold Allen had good output, but Gene Silva was throwing with way more power and landing those power shots consistently, and that's what made the difference in this fight. I also think Arnold he tried to go for grappling exchanges that didn't really work, and I think that's a testament to the pressure he might have been feeling on the feet. I don't think he felt as confident going into the second and third round on the feet as he was in the first because he was doing very well, but Gene Silva's a little bit too much. And I think he's going to be a little bit too much for a lot of fighters at featherweight, pretty much besides Diego Lopez, even though he was a little too much for Diego Lopez in the second round. He was teeing off and going crazy. If he was a little bit more reserved, maybe we can be seeing Gene Silva versus Volkanovski right now. But I could also see Gene Silva fucking knocking out Volkanovski. Because I don't see Volk like damaging Gene Silva enough to keep him out of it. He's very elusive and good, obviously. We all know that Volk is, but Gene Silva has that power. So I could definitely see Gene Silva honestly getting a title shot off of this. They really seem to hate Monzer Evloev and Lerone Murphy with a passion. So I could see them giving him a title shot, and I could see if Volk wins next Saturday, him winning. But I don't think Volk's going to win next Saturday. Spoiler alert, I think that Diego Lopez is going to be able to chin him this time. But yeah, this is the main card opener. It was very good. Great way to start. Next, we have Natalia Silva versus Rose Namajunas. A fight that I didn't really pay attention to that all that much. I know what happened generally, and it's exactly what I thought was going to happen. Rose Namajunas had some success in the grappling. She had some success in the grappling at the end of round one and throughout the fight in general. But Natalia Silva did more on the feet. She was more dynamic. She landed better shots. She's way better on the feet than almost every women's fighter. Rose Namajunas is a little bit old, can't do cardio as much in her career at this point. The fight was really boring, so I wasn't paying that much attention. But Natalia Silva got the win impressively because Rose Namajunas has fraud checked a bunch of younger women's fighters. And you give Natalia Silva the title shot after this. I think that's the only thing you can give her. But it wasn't exciting whatsoever. But Silva's too much on the feet, and she was able to stop some grappling. And I think she will be a problem in the women's divisions going forward. And hopefully she stays up there because I like a women's striker that is more fun to me than a women's grappler. But that's the same thing with men's divisions as well. But yeah, enough with this fight, I think. Good for Natalia Silva. Hopefully she can make better performances in the future that are actually fun to watch. But next, we have Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Ah. Oh yeah, by the way, I went with Gene Silva to win, and I went with Natalia Silva to win. So at this point, I was 100% on the main card. I was feeling good. This one, though, did not go my way because I went Derek Lewis to win. I thought he was going to find that shot like he always does, or not always. Every other fight or every two fights, he finds that shot and he's able to have a crazy celebration, is take his shorts off and freak out and do the Black Beast slam and stick his tongue out and shit. But this time, he did not get it done. And I swear, Derek Lewis trains for every other fight, and then that's it. Because he'll either come in looking pretty good, looking pretty like lean as you can get for Derek Lewis, because he's gonna be a fat motherfucker no matter what. But then sometimes he comes in and he just looks bloated, and he looks like he has a beer gut, and he's moving like 2 miles an hour, and it's just sad to watch. And you really have to be on the timing with Derek because he's so hit or miss, and I feel like he just takes a payday, then comes in and actually tries to get his career, like to keep his career on track, and then he goes in and gets a payday again. It's kind of a cycle with Derek Lewis's career. But yeah, the gist of this fight, Derek Lewis looked slow. Waldo Cortez looked not very good either, but he looked way more technical, quicker, had good head movement, as good as you can when something is coming at you at this negative speed. So anybody on earth would probably have good head movement, but still, it was decently impressive for Waldo to. I don't know. It wasn't that impressive, to be honest. This fight was pretty shitty. Waldo was able to evade well, but Derek Lewis was hitting him with that jumping switch kick, which was. If you threw a couple more of those, I bet it would have knocked him out. But too bad we never got to see that because at the round one ends, I gave it to Derek. Was I think Derek was up on strikes, but I don't think you can give it to Derek, to be honest. No, he definitely wasn't up on strikes. I'm freaking out. But second round, Waldo. This is really nothing happened. Waldo landed a couple shots. Derek Lewis literally tripped and fell over his own body weight, and then just quit on the ground to ground and pound as Waldo Cortez hit him on the side of the head, and he just laid there and didn't try to do anything else and took the defeat. So not much to break down. Plodding around, throwing really slowly, and then Derek Lewis trips and falls, like slips over his own weight. I thought he blew his knee out, and then he really slowly goes to his knees and then just accepts defeat. So it really sucks for Derek because I'm a big Derek fan. I want to see him celebrate and get more finishes on his record, but he did not do that in this fight, and that's just the sad part. But still a funny fight to watch, I guess. Next, we have Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. And this one has been a bit of a controversial fight as of late, going on social media and stuff, which I don't understand at all, to be honest. A lot of people were very quick to just give Song Yadong the win for no reason, to be honest. Like, actually, no reason, in my opinion. Sean O'Malley clearly won the fight. He landed the bigger shots, he landed the more damaging shots. If we're damage based scoring, which we seem to pick and choose when we want to do that, it was clearly Sean O'Malley. Song Yadong was busted up at the end of the fight, nose bleeding. And if we were going round by round, Sean O'Malley did more in the first. He landed way more strikes. He landed jabs. He landed front kick to the body. He was busier in the first round. Song Yadong got a takedown, didn't do anything with it. Are we all of a sudden? We're just MMA fans love to just pick and choose when they're going to be mad at grappling with no activity, or when they're just going to be like, oh, that wins you the round. It's always a flip flop. There's no consistency with fans. It's so weird and annoying. Or maybe just different fans decide to pipe up when at different points, but it's just like, come on. Be consistent with your takes a little bit. Because Sean clearly won the first on output. In the second, Song Yadong clearly won. He actually succeeded in the grappling and doing damage in the grappling, and he had great low kicks and was landing shots. In the third round, Sean O'Malley clearly wins, landing way bigger shots, straight hands, busting up Song Yadong, still going to the body well, landed a really big knee. It was a boring fight. Like, nothing really happened. Like, it was just like a flurry every 15 seconds, and then they would walk around more. It was very explosive and very fast fight because they're both very dangerous. But overall, it was pretty boring. Like, nothing really happened. Song came out super explosive in the first round, and I think that hindered his cardio towards the end. And I think Sean was a little bit worried to commit because of that speed and explosivity coming his way. And that kind of seems to be the case with a lot of fighters that fight Song Yadong. They kind of it ends up being tricky, no matter who is in front of Song Yadong, because he is a tricky fighter to go against because he has great grappling defense. I will say because he doesn't have great he doesn't have very good grappling offense. But he has great grappling defense. He's super fast on the feet, and he's athletic and tricky no matter who you are. He's tricky for Peter, he's tricky for Corey. He's very good. And Song Yadong Sean O'Malley beat him, clearly, rounds 1 and 3. But a lot of people seem to think otherwise, which I don't agree with whatsoever. And I was impartial about this fight. I didn't really care who won because I really like Song Yadong. I usually root for both of these fighters, whoever they're fighting. So in their matchup, I was kind of like, fuck, I don't really want these guys to fight. I'd rather see Song Yadong take his chances with Umar or Sean O'Malley take his chances with Umar. And then I can really root for them to win because I hate Umar. I really hate Umar. But yeah, Song Yadong couldn't do enough. He didn't have enough output. Sean O'Malley's quick on the back foot, landing jabs, doing his thing. And he won the fight clear, in my opinion. And everybody hating on that. Sean O'Malley is the biggest like hater fan base. I get it. He rainbow hair, super skinny twinky a little bit, and he has like a weird family dynamic, I guess. Or he used to be more open about that or something. But at the same time, he's one of the most fun fighters to watch, bar this fight. And his style's sick. And I don't really understand the hate coming his way, really. But yeah, Sean O'Malley gets it done by decision. Song Yadong does not get finished. And yeah, next. They'll probably give Sean O'Malley the title shot, by the way, against Peter. I would bet money that that's happening. Maybe on the White House because he's American, but now that we have Justin Gaethje with a with an interim title, maybe we won't see Sean O'Malley on the White House, and instead we'll see Justin Gaethje versus somebody. But we'll see what happens with Ilya. But I guess we'll get to that in a second because we got to go over the fight first. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett was a fucking battle. It was an incredible war between these two fighters from start to finish. Every round was sick. Paddy got hit like 1,000 times. Every single punch where I thought he was going to get knocked out cold. And Justin Gaethje took a lot of hits too. And he looked wobbly at moments and still came back at 38 years old, still putting on a pace and throwing bombs, looking sloppier, not looking as crisp as he used to. But it was definitely enough in this fight, and he beat the shit out of Paddy Pimblett 2 to 3 rounds, in my opinion. I thought Paddy clearly won the third round, or yeah, third or fourth, third had to been third. Yeah, Paddy clearly won the third round. He was landing shots way better. He's had heavy output. He didn't get rocked or dropped in that round whatsoever. He was doing good. In the fifth round, it was even, but Paddy I thought landed more and had more momentum towards the end in the flurries and stuff. So I gave the third and the fifth, and he went for takedown attempts and kind of had control there for a second. But they had even strikes. Is the only reason I'm saying that control with the takedown meant anything at all. Not that I'm not discrediting my O'Malley take 2 seconds ago. So I might have given the even it was either 4-1 Gaethje or 3-2 Gaethje basically. But yeah, the first, second, and fourth were clearly Gaethje. I think he dropped Paddy. He dropped him 3 or 4 times in this fight. Just really powerful shots that Paddy could not dodge or do anything to go against because Paddy has terrible striking defense, and that was abundantly clear against a seasoned veteran striker like Justin Gaethje. Paddy keeps his chin way up in the air, and it got clipped early in the first. He got dropped. He got back up. I thought that was going to be it, to be honest, but he kept taking punishment. He was doing fine. But another narrative about this fight and another storyline is going to be very good for Paddy Pimblett going forward is the fouls in this fight. Paddy Pimblett landed a groin kick, which was pretty bad, but didn't really hinder the fight in any way. But Justin Gaethje poked Paddy in the eyeball and then dropped him right afterward with a thumb poke in the eye as he was throwing a punch, and then dropped him bad right after that. And then before that, he poked him in the eye as well, a really bad eye poke. So 2 eye pokes on Paddy Pimblett, one leading to a knockdown and heavy damage on the ground. And after that, Paddy looked like a zombie, and he was all busted up and bruised, and his blue eyes were like 10 times brighter for some reason, and he looked like a deer in the headlights after that knockdown. So that could have changed the trajectory of the fight a bit, I think. So you have to kind of keep that in mind when talking about this fight. But Justin was clearly better on the feet. He did his thing. Paddy didn't go for really any takedowns until the fifth and the fourth. He really just didn't try to grapple, which is I thought it was going to be his main weapon. I went with Paddy to win by submission after trading on the feet for a bit, going for a takedown and getting the submission. But he never even went for it until they were both dead tired and incredibly damaged, which doesn't make any sense to me. But whatever, it made for an incredible fight. So who really cares? It was really fun. But yeah, not super smart from Paddy, I don't think. And yeah, but whatever. And yeah, now we have Gaethje as an interim title holder again, two interim titles and the BMF belt. Yeah, Gaethje has had a weird run of things as of late, and I don't think he's ever going to get the title shot either, or he's never going to get the unified belt ever. There's too many people above him in the rankings that are just so much better, and that's what I'll say about this fight as well. Justin Gaethje versus Paddy Pimblett for the interim title fight of lightweight was kind of a sham, bullshit, stupid gimmick title fight in hindsight between these two fighters. There are 4 or 5 contenders above them that I think are just so much better than these two fighters. Like we have Ilya, Charles, Max, Arman, that honestly I think wipe the floor with both of these fighters. Just destroy them. Obviously, there's a puncher's chance with Oliveira, but Ilya Topuria, with Paddy's fucking chin up in the air like that, would cleave it off his head. Same with Gaethje, to be honest. Gaethje's 38. He looked sloppy in this fight. Took a lot of shots from Paddy Pimblett on the head. Ilya Topuria would dominate. Same thing with Sarukian. Maybe I thought Paddy's grappling could have a thing or like could have some factors with Arman Sarukian, but no, he would get absolutely ragdolled, put on the floor, tossed around. Like maybe Paddy could go for a submission attempt, but it wouldn't do shit. He would get grapple fucked and beat up on the ground by Arman Sarukian after that. Same thing with Gaethje. Every single time Paddy went for a takedown, Gaethje stuffed it easily. It just wasn't a good look whatsoever for either of these two fighters. Same thing with Max Holloway. Max Holloway already knocked out Gaethje, made him look like shit. Do the same thing to Paddy, and I'm not confident with Paddy's grappling anymore. Going in there against even Max Holloway, he doesn't have terrible takedown defense by any means, but it's not great. I still don't think Paddy would be able to dominate in the grappling. I think he'd probably get worked before he even attempted. But maybe he'll learn his lesson and try to attempt takedowns at this point. I don't know. We'll see, I guess. And we're going to see in a while because Paddy took a lot of damage and needs to take a lot of time off before his next fight. But Justin, it has his eyes on the White House title fight against Ilya Topuria to unify the belts, which I think is a dope fight. And it should be on the White House, and it should probably either main event or co-main event it. But Ilya has his divorce thing going on and his big trial, so I don't know if he'll be ready by then. So that we might have to maybe do another interim title fight in the meantime, or something like that, or maybe Ilya will have to vacate. But hopefully that gets resolved quick so we can have that fight because it'll be pretty cool. The build-up will be cool, but my prediction is a quick knockout for Ilya Topuria, just a demolishing from Ilya Topuria after this fight. So yeah, a little gimmicky, but still very fun, very exciting. Great way to start the year. I think that's about it. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you soon.